everyone, it's Justin again. Listen, I have wanted a 3D printer for forever. It is so fascinating to me how they take this plastic string and just turn it into anything you want. I keep talking myself out of buying one though because they're very expensive. But I was thinking recently, what if I get a 3D printer and sell some of my prints to help make it more affordable for me? I wonder how many prints I'd have to sell to be able to make investing in a 3D printer worthwhile though. My favorite 3D prints are these little animals with articulated joints that could move around. So I thought I could sell those. I would sell them for about $15, but since I do have to buy the filament, that's the plastic string that the printer uses to print, I would actually only make about $10 of profit off of each one. The printer that I'd like to get costs $900. I thought maybe I could try making a graph to help me get a better feel for the situation. My x-axis can represent the number of sales that I make, and the y-axis can represent how much income I'll make. Since I have to spend money on the printer, I am already starting in $900 of debt before I sell any prints. Then when I sell one print, I'll make $10. So I'll be down to only $890 of debt. Woo! When I sell another print, I'll make $10 more, and then I'll be down to $880 of debt. Another sale, another $10, and again, and again, and again. Hey, do you see what's happening here? This is making a straight line. In fact, graphs like this and the equations that represent them are going to be the focus of the next few units of this course. Let's get into it. When it comes to equations and graphs that form a straight line, the word we use to describe them is linear, which just means like a line. Most of the linear equations and graphs that we'll look at together are also linear functions because they pass the vertical line test, but not all of them are. Can you think of how to arrange a straight line on a graph so that it doesn't pass the vertical line test? How about if the graph itself is a vertical line? Then we have just one input with all of those outputs, so it wouldn't be a function. There are multiple ways that we can represent linear equations. In this unit, we're going to focus specifically on what's called slope-intercept form. And you'll learn about some of the other forms in the next 2 units. Does anything in that term slope-intercept form sound familiar to you? Maybe the word slope? You've already spent some time in this course learning about graphs and functions. Things like plotting points on a graph and reading a graph, finding the slope of a line, finding the domain and range of a function. We'll be taking all of those skills and expanding on them in this unit. So it's important that you feel comfortable with them so that you can be successful in this unit. In fact, your next task in this lesson is the slope and graphing review in your PDF. It'll help you review all of those necessary skills to make sure that you're prepared before jumping into our next lesson. If you get stuck, make use of the links in each section of the activity that'll allow you to rewatch the related lesson videos from back in Unit 1. Good luck on your practice, and I'll see you next time. Hey, hey.